Hello, and welcome to the show. My name is Osandra, but you can call me Wordy Girl, and you're tuned in to the Just Do Stuff podcast. On this episode, we're finally back from hiatus, so I apologize and fill you in on what's been happening with me. Later, we talk to XtianNinja about his new book and being a content creator. Then, we play a hilariously fun game of Two Truths and a Lie that you can join in on too. So, what are we waiting for? It's time to just do stuff. Hello. Happy time zone. Welcome to the podcast. It's me, Osandra, also known as Wordy Girl, and yeah, I'm here. I believe last time we talked, I told you to guess a puzzle, and then I dropped off the face of the earth before telling you the answer to said puzzle. I have since discovered that some people have actually solved the puzzle. Congratulations. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you can go to the previous episode of this podcast, which, if you're binging these, did not actually take months to be released. And you will be happy to know the answer to your puzzle is right here. So, if you want a second to go back and refresh your memory of the puzzle, feel free to do that. But without further ado, here it is. Okay, the puzzle was basically treat the stim with steam when you pay to play. Go over the room with the broom before you pose with poise. Each one can teach, so bow and raise a brow. Stir the pot without a pout. Look in your sack for a snack. Don't yell at the cat. The bot will drive the boat. And if you notice that, I don't know if you noticed, but with that little puzzle there, each of the little sentences had a pair of words that were very similar, but they were just one letter off. Say, stim and steam. The difference between stim and steam is A. Pay to play. The difference between pay and play is L. The difference between room and broom is B. The difference between pose and poise is I. The difference between each and teach is T. The difference between bow and brow is R. The difference between pot and pout is U. The difference between sack and snack is in. The difference between at and cat is C, and the difference between bot and boat is A. So if you take all of those letters and line them up, Albitrunca spells Albitrunca. And you might wonder, what is Albitrunca? What on earth are you talking about? Well, if you did figure that out and you did go to Will-O-Wisp and search the word Albitrunca, that was a preview of what I was going to be releasing for Play May. Now, Play May is already done. In fact, Adventure April was when I wrote the one-shot. Play May is when I played it. So all of that is over. It's August now. Surprisingly, the year is just flying by. But yes, that is what you're looking for. So if you go to willowispHQ.com and search Albitrunca, things will come up. If you don't know what Albitrunca is, it is basically an underground bunker base run by the Will-O-Wisp organization, where they host a lot of training events for people like Junior Sprouts and other introductory interns who are training to be better spies. So they literally just put them in an underground bunker, but it is suspected that the bunker is used for way more than just that. And it's a giant maze underground that has lots of different traps, hazards, all kinds of things. So Stuart and his friends, dubbed the Petrichor 4 by Ezekiel, all went into Albitrunca. Well, I won't do more spoilers. If you want to figure this out and you want to see what happened, do search Albitrunca at willowispHQ.com. That's willowispHQ.com. And you will find a story called Stuart's Final Assignment. I will probably link it in the show notes anyway. Please do listen. It's very awesome, amazing. The voice actors. And the story is an intriguing one, to say the least. But that's not what this episode is about. Now that I have completely let you guys know what the answer to that puzzle was that you were waiting months to figure out, it is now time for official business to tell you why I have been taking so long releasing episodes. I apologize so much for not publishing episodes like I was supposed to. Things have been quite hectic, admittedly, for me. But the whole motto of this podcast is just do stuff, and I'm supposed to just do stuff. Sometimes it is very hard to just do stuff, especially when you are struggling in more ways than one. Financially is one of the areas as well that I would very appreciate prayer in, and appreciate any donations. All donations are welcome. Yeah, so long story short, I have not posted in months, but it's okay because I have a lineup of some awesome, amazing guests who want to join the podcast and have fun. And the first of those guests, it was XtianNinja, who you will hear in just a few moments. If you're not familiar with XtianNinja, he's a Christian streamer on Twitch. His name is spelled XtianNinja, Christian Ninja, Ninja. And he will further introduce himself when we get into the talking, and he also has his own book that he just launched. So we really, 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 really appreciate all support and all spreading of news. So if you want to share this episode with anybody, feel free. It is so amazing to know that you want to share and that you did share. So God bless you, and thank you so much for sharing. Now, without further ado, we're going to jump into the episode, and do expect more coming up. I have a cool animal series that I'm starting, and we are going to talk to a lot of fun animal people about animals. So if you think that sounds exciting, hopefully the next episodes will be out in the next few weeks, and I am praying that it's not going to be another months-long hiatus, but we'll see what happens. There are a lot of cool guests that I have talked to, and I am just excited to post their episodes. And if you would like to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out. Go to wordygirl.com/podcast, and you will be able to fill out forms to let me know that you are interested in hanging out with me on the podcast. So, thank you guys for sticking around for that rant. It's time to jump into the XtianNinja conversation.
That's the voice of experience of someone who has lost a bunch of work in the past and went, where is it? I totally hit the button.
Yeah, I just can never be too safe because the worst feeling when you think you're recording and you do like an hour long content and then you realize that you were not recording.
Oh yeah. It's one thing, like you do that in a video game where you're like, oh, I haven't saved in forever, oh no. But it's like, no, that was all my creativity dumped all at once. I have nothing left. I don't even know what I said. So
exactly. Yeah, and even if you do have like a guideline you're going off of, I'm sure it's not going to stick to the full script, and then it's just not going to be the same at all.
I've done that. I've done that with sermons where I lost like half
no.
the sermon or whatever, come back around, and I look at my notes, I look at what I'm doing, and I'm like, I got nothing. I don't know where I was because you're so in flow, right?
Yeah. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen this time because I tested it and it looks good.
No curse. Yeah, exactly.
So, thank you for joining me for one.
Oh, I'm super happy to be here. I am such a fan of yours. I think you're great.
Oh, well, thank you. I am a big fan of yours as well. You're really a nice, just all-around content creator. But you can tell us a little bit about yourself for those in the audience who don't know.
Well, hello, audience. That's a weird thing to say. It's so funny because we talk about like our crew, we talk about our friends, we talk about our viewers, the algorithm and the people and all the rest of that stuff. Is like, who are these people that we're talking to? What level of relationship do we have when it comes to parasocial? How deep do we want to get? And not to go full tangent mode, but I think one thing that as Christian content creators that we have that's different than other content creators is that we take that parasocial relationship a lot more seriously, right? Like when we share our heart, we're sharing our heart and we want to hear their heart back. And so therefore we kind of give pieces of ourselves to our audience across the map, right?
Right.
So in answer to your question though, I'm XtianNinja.
Well, feel free to go on any tangents you want anytime. It's fine.
Okay.
Good.
Insightful. Then yeah. Just completely untethered. Let's see how that goes.
Yeah.
My name's XtianNinja. I'm Al Deschanel in real life, but I spend a lot of time as XtianNinja, and I have two distinct personalities online. One is the Alliance for Creative Outreach's executive director, so TACO, the Alliance for Creative Outreach. And what we do there is we network and we unite and we care for and we encourage and we train Christian content creators. I wrote a book. We have an 8-week class. We have a Discord for content creators, and we have we bring together their communities. It's really meant and designed to show love to and encourage the content creators who don't feel a sense of validation, who don't feel like their pastor or their church or their parents or their school or whatever is taking them seriously, and they want to grow and they want to use their gifts and talents for the sake of God's glory and whoever their community is. And so we take them seriously. And so we pour our heart into them. The other side of it is I'm XtianNinja. I have my own channel, my own online community, where we do all kinds of variety content. More and more, I'm doing teaching and talking about various subjects. So like Monday, we do big Bible talk. And then Tuesday is Taco Tuesday, where we talk about content creation and all kinds of, all from all angles. Wednesday, we do weird and silly stuff. And then Thursday is usually about gaming. But I've been working on a series called Game to Life, where what I want to do is take basically philosophical parts of games or like religious parts of games or some kind of big moral moment or something like that in a game, and then just kind of expand on it a little bit with a little bit of content. And that means I'm going to try writing a podcast or writing a video or whatever based on that. So I'm all over the map. I've got all kinds of things. I've spoken at conferences, and I'm trying to get speaking at churches just so I can get out there that digital missions is a big deal. Hey, traditional churches, let's get into digital missions. To find the content creators that are out there in the world that don't know about us, that don't know that there are people out there. Because you know this, I know this, anybody who's a Christian content creator knows this. We all feel like we're the only ones doing it. And so therefore, if we were able to find some people who were actually, doing it and taking it seriously and actually wanted to help, it would radically change our life. So I want to go out and find those people. And then, of course, I also want to be able to teach and train them and just show them some love, because so many of them have felt a sense of rejection from the traditional church or from the established church or from denominational stuff. And I have that nice dad voice, and I am a pastor. I'm actually an alliance, like the Christian Missionary Alliance. I'm a licensed actual pastor and actual missionary who is, all that stuff, nonprofit and the whole 9 yards. So I can, when I speak and I say, I care about you and I want to help and disciple you. I'm not just coming out of nowhere, and I'm not just like one of the many content creators out there. I'm like a bridge. And that's what I think God has called me to be, is that bridge in between.
Amen. That's very beautiful. And just everything you do so much. and your heart is really for the people and for specifically other Christian content creators. And that's amazing how you strive to help them out and, like you said, be a bridge, because a lot of people do not take this seriously, unfortunately. It's bad enough regular, content creators a lot of times don't get taken seriously by the real world, because it seems unrealistic for this to be any kind of, career or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I think it's worse for the Christian content creators, because they are facing that as well as facing opposition from their own church communities, saying that this is not a valid outreach platform when it totally is. I feel like now more than ever, it's easier to connect with people all over the world through this content.
Unprecedented. We live in unprecedented technological times and also media creation times. Like in the past, and I mean the recent past.
Yeah.
If it was like, I want to make a movie, or I want to, professionally edit audio, or I want to, use digital art, or I want to create 3-dimensional subjects or whatever, any of that stuff, do video games, whatever it is. Back, it was like, you need the $1,000 software, and you need the $5,000 computer, and you need a professional degree or whatever. Now, dude, like, you can get all this stuff for free and on your $800 computer, and with a microphone you got for $30 that actually is pretty good, and then you've got all the education you'd ever want on YouTube for free. Like, anybody who wants to create, or anybody who wants to get great at something that they feel passionate about, has all the tools. And so that means that there are some wildly creative people out there who are just ready to be released. And we know that because anybody who's watched TikTok or watched Shorts or watched YouTube or whatever, you look at some of these people, or been on, anywhere, digital art, Instagram, you're like, man, some of these people are crazy talented. Like, this person just wilding away in obscurity somewhere in the middle of nowhere and doing art because they just love it. And then when it shows up, you're like, that is special. Like, that would be on the wall of some amazing museum if this was 150 years ago. Right. But we take it, we look at it, we consume it, we spit it out, and it's coming from somewhere. And that person has talent. So why don't we grab onto that person and go, you have value and talent, and you can use what you have, not only for God's glory, but for the good of everybody. Let's do it together.
Yeah, exactly. And so you do a lot yourself. You post on social media, you stream, you are a YouTuber, actually. Everything. You even run a Discord server. So I am just curious, what is your favorite channel of content creating, just personally for you?
Me, for the one that I do?
Yeah, because you do you're even an author and everything else. So which one is your favorite?
It's funny when people say that to me, because I always feel so behind and so lazy. And then I've got people that are like, how do you keep it up? How are you able to do all that? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm always behind, and I'm never getting anything done, and I got 20 projects that I haven't finished yet. And if you guys knew all the stuff I'm not doing, you'd be just as upset as I am. And then people are like, no. You're doing a bunch. I remember when I was on stream one time, I was talking to somebody who was some member of the community. She was part of my stream dream team. And I said, yeah, I'm a pretty chill guy. I don't have, I'm not like super energetic or whatever. I'm just pretty even keeled. And she literally called me out. She's like, what? Do you really believe that about yourself? Are you kidding me right now? It's like, you are hyper, my man. You are nonstop energy. And I'm like, I just don't feel that, right? I always feel like I'm holding back. That doesn't answer your question. So my answer is, it's an easy answer. It's stream. It's Twitch stream. I love being on Twitch. As much as we, as difficult as it is and hard to grow, and all discovery is difficult, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, being able to hang out with my community online, be able to spend time talking about really important big stuff and really stupid stuff and silly stuff, and experiencing games together, and experiencing just kind of life, and then having, like, for example, the other day, and this is an exact, like, this really happened, and it sounds wild, but it's true. There's a woman who came in. I didn't know she's a woman. Obviously, I don't know anybody's anything. They'd come in and just got a username, and it's like Turkey. I don't know. What are you? And so we start to get to know her a little bit, and over a course of days, she's releasing more little tidbits of information, like, "Oh, I'm a police officer." "Oh, are you?" "Yeah, in Turkey." Like, as in the country of Turkey. I'm like, "Oh, that sounds rough." "And I'm female." I'm like, "Oh, you're a female police officer in Turkey. That sounds complicated." "Yeah, it is. Actually," and then like hours later, she's like, "Oh, I just got a message. I'm being deployed." "Oh, where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going to Syria." "What are you going to do?" "Well, I'm going to be, I'm a gunner on a helicopter." "Are you? Well, that's interesting. Well, how's that go?" It's like, and she's, so I said, "Can I pray for you?" And she, I prayed for her. Then the next day that she's Muslim. I mean, kind of obviously, right? So she's Muslim, and then she ends up going through some kind of, it's rough. There's some rough stuff, and I'm not going to get super into it. But all that to say, we were able to minister to this person across the planet. I was able to share the gospel with her. She came in and she said, in the line of duty as a police officer, I kill people. As a military person, I kill people. And the guilt, it eats away at me. How do you get rid of the guilt? And I was able to share the gospel with her. I was able to talk about, how Jesus helps us with our guilt, how he takes away guilt. And at the end, she's like, "Thank you so much. That really changed my life." And she says, as far as like, "I'm going to go share this with like my other police friends because they need this stuff too." And where else can you do that? Where else can you have someone come in from anywhere on the planet, show up, bare their soul, because they feel that sense of safety through anonymity, and be able to talk to them about the most incredible subjects in real time?
Yeah, that is amazing. And yeah, I stream too. And it is, no matter if, like you said, if it's just you're struggling, you don't have that many, viewers. But you have way more viewers than me on the regular basis. But a lot of streamers might be discouraged. I was talking to some other streamers about this as well. But a lot of times, even if it's just one person that connects with you, that's a meaningful, conversation, and you can do a lot because these are actually people that are individuals. And
it's all about perspective.
Yeah.
Like, it really is. So if you're on there and you want to be a successful content creator, or you want to be a big YouTuber or whatever, then you're going to be consistently frustrated, right? Yeah. You're going to be like, "Man, the numbers aren't there. And how do I get to the algorithm? And what's the secret sauce that I need to be able to put together? And what part of my soul do I have to sell in order to be able to create something that people actually want, so I can feel like I'm making an impact?" And it's completely opposite. It's you put yourself into a place where you make yourself available, right? You do excellent as much as you can. You obey in the rest of your life. Obviously, you seek to try to do good in the rest of your life. But when you're there, it's I want to affect an individual in a meaningful way. That's it, right? Yeah. Like, it's not if just one person sees stream. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, in your mind, you have this picture of the person that you want to help, right? So for me, there's the Christian content creator that's whiling away in obscurity, doesn't know that there's anybody out there to help, has left their church, has felt a sense of call, of passion, is doing it, but doesn't know there's anyone out there to help, and then discovers Taco, and I get a chance to help them grow, help them see what God has for them, help them understand their audience and their content and stuff, and then release them to be able to go and feel a sense of purpose, right? So for me, that's that. So for you, I don't, whatever your one is, Wordy Girl, I'd let you speak that. But for other people, it'd be like, I want to take people who are struggling with, children of divorce, and that are really struggling with loneliness and confusion. I want to be able to reach there and tell them what my experience was like, and I want to meet them in a unique way and minister to their hearts. Or I want to talk to artistic people, or people with mental health issues, or people with that have been through a whole bunch, or those who are living sinful lives, or those who are trying to live godly lives, and they just want somewhere that they can be a video gamer because nobody in their family, nobody in their life really gets it that they're a gamer, and they want to be able to celebrate this stuff. Or they're just a general nerd and they just feel like nobody gets what they're talking about, and you're like, I am too, and I want to talk about that stuff. And then if you have that one conversation with whoever that is, that perfect image of that person on the other side that you feel that you exist to try to serve, and they show up and you talk to them, it doesn't matter if you only had 3 people in chat or 5 people in chat. It doesn't matter, because you're like, that's why I exist. That's why God gave me this talent, and that's why God gave me this story. That's why God gave me this history. That's why God gave me this purpose, is because I was able to affect a heart, and I was able to unite God's love and my love for that person, and it helped them today. That's motivating. That regardless of size, that's going to keep you going.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, so in addition to all that stuff you've been doing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, what's yours? Who's your perfect person?
Well, I know we've talked about this a lot, and you are good at trying to get people to narrow things down.
Laser focus, baby.
And laser focus, yes. I'm weird where I am very broad, and it can be seen as not good at times, because I do too much and I'm focusing on too much, and a lot of people think I need to, narrow it down. But I just personally just do what I feel like God is leading me to do, and whoever God leads to me, I just try to, follow the Holy Spirit's lead and work in the moment. So, like, with me, I am a variety streamer, so I do have a lot of, writers who come into my stream because I do writing. And it's funny, I don't know if I shared on the podcast how I became affiliate, but there's a site called World Anvil, which I talk about way too much. And so it's like a world building site for authors and people who write books and play like D&D and stuff like that. So I've been part of that site, and they had a challenge one year that was a summer camp, and they opened it up for the general public, to like the members of World Anvil, the community, to sponsor a category. So sponsoring a category just means whatever category you pick, you're going to judge that category. So people who submit their articles, you read through them and choose a winner. So the prize I offered wasn't anything too big, but I said, I might as well do this. This was also, I think this is 2022. So I was getting laid off of my job, my other job that I was at before this one that I got laid off from. And I was like, okay, so I guess I'll have time. So I decided to stream during the reading period. So summer camp it's currently running now. And then in August, they usually do the reading challenge. So like everybody writes all they can in July. And then in August, they encourage the community to go read stuff that people wrote. So since I was a judge, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to do a lot of reading anyway. So I just commented on everybody who entered my category, which was like almost 300 people, I think. And I was just like, do you want me to read your article on my stream? So a lot of them were like, yeah, sure. So some of them wanted to be there. Some of them were shy, so they're like, you can read it, but just give me the VOD. Some were like, I don't want to be there when you do it. It's shy. I understand that. I'm not like that, but some people are like, okay, I don't want to hear anybody reading it live. I just want to, so different people, I had a whole spreadsheet, like, okay, these people want this kind of feedback. These people don't want me to, do too much criticism live on the stream.
Right.
I had all these kinds of things lined up in a spreadsheet. Okay, this person's supposed to be here this day. And since I was laid off, I could stream all day, like different hours of the day. People, I will tell you, on World Anvil are all around the world in different time zones. So I was streaming at all kinds of times. I was trying to coordinate time so people could make it live. And then the people who finally didn't respond, like I was waiting for them to they were like, I might make it today. And the last day, I was like, okay, it's the last day of the reading challenge. So I'm going to have to read all these articles that I have permission to read on stream. in this one day, and that stream was like 7 hours, and I got off the stream at like 3 a.m., which is hilarious. But so out of that, a lot of people followed my channel. They encouraged their friends because I was reading their articles, and that's how I got affiliates so fast. But I was like, that was a lot. That was a lot, and I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was not if I was working a 9 to 5. That would be way too much.
Totally.
But yeah,
totally.
That's why a lot of people who follow me are writers, but I've gotten other followers as well. A lot of people do find me through the Christian tag, which is good. Sometimes there are trolls, but that happens with everybody.
Yep.
And then, just all kinds of different people, because since I am a variety streamer, sometimes I'm streaming a certain game and people will show up because I'm streaming that game. So yeah, I just feel like whoever comes, I just, in the moment, try to speak to them through the Holy Spirit, whatever I'm led to.
Totally. And I don't, I don't mean to put you on the spot or anything. But I mean, I think that's where a lot of people start, right? That idea of, I don't know why I'm here, but I'm here. Right. Yeah. Like in the same way, like missionaries do that too. Right. I feel a call to this country, and then I'm going to go, that's a big place. Let's go. And then or you feel like this people or downtown or inner city or people with, whatever issue or hungry people. And like, that's a big crowd. Yeah. And as you start to serve and as you continue to serve and as you continue to figure out where God wants you, he bumps you around and puts you in a place where without too much, drama, I would think, that suddenly you're like, this is where it feels like I'm supposed to be. These are my people, and I'm going to pour my heart into them and train myself for them and give them, what I need, because now I can, instead of me helping a bunch of people 1%, I can now help fewer people, but I can help them 50%. You know what I mean? Like everybody starts with that sort of general purpose. I think I'm out here. I just am in the right spot. But I think as you pray about it, think about it, process it, who God is really connecting you to, who you get excited about. Like when that happens and you're after stream, you're like, that was it. That was such a cool stream. And you're like, what happened? Why am I so excited about that one? And as you learn that and sort of pray about it and can't get counsel about it, suddenly you really do get that laser focus of, you know what, these are my people. And these are the ones that I want to pour my heart into. And yeah, anybody can show up. Of course, that's the magic of the internet. But at the same time, when I stream, when I push, when I create content, when I raise money, whatever it is, it's for this group, because this is the group that I feel like God has me to serve and to love, and who needs more love, right? That's the way I see streaming, and it's because it's not like my idea. This is just the way people see advertising, or the way that they see any kind of trying to get out there and help anybody. You have to know who it is, and you have to know what they need, and you have to be able to focus that. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting resources and time. So that's why I spend so much time talking about it, because I believe that every content creator, somewhere in their heart, somewhere in their past, somewhere in their trauma, somewhere in their victories, there's this image of this person that they were probably, and that there are out there and are people that are like that they really want to help, right? I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, my whatever part of my story, but I know that there are people out there like that, and I want to be able to help them out of it. Or there are people who are struggling way more than they need to, and I want to be able to help them out of that. Or there are people out there that are lonely, lost, disenfranchised, disillusioned, whatever. And those people need encouragement. They need to be found. They need to be discovered. They need to be helped. They need to be drawn. The Bible word, compelled. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. And then when you start doing that, boy, it's such a wild, amazing feeling.
Yeah, and I do know you did write a book recently. What is the book called again?
The Art of Digital Influence.
So I take it you probably cover some of these topics that you're talking about in the book.
Oh, I certainly do. So I teach that class, right? And so here's how the sort of the chain of events goes. I was a pastor for a long time. One of my hearts is for leadership development. There's a course that came out ages ago that I took and graduated from called Equip Leadership, and it's put out by John Maxwell.
Nice.
So I took that, and I used to use that all the time. Just like, man, let's do another leadership course because y'all need it, and I need to be reminded of it. Let's go. And so we would do the Maxwell leadership course, and we'd get through book 1, we'd get through book 2 a little slower, and nobody would ever get to book 3 because it's a lot, right? It's just a lot.
Yeah.
There's actually 6 books,
oh, wow.
36 lessons. Oh yeah, it's like a lifestyle. Yeah, you're not signing up for a class, you're signing up for a lifestyle. And so when I started connecting to Christian streamers, connection to Christian content creators who I felt really needed encouragement and whatnot, I'm like, what can I teach them and how can I help them to wrap their head around, this is who God called you to be, this is the priorities you can set, this is how you communicate to people, like all the things that you'd need to be a great content creator. Not anything to do with the tech, not anything to do with, not even your medium. Like, because it's like, you're a drawer, you're an artist, you're a gamer, you're a let's player, you're a commentary, you're a podcast, you're a blogger, right? So when you boil it down to what all these folks need to know and kind of to kick things off, it's that leadership course, man. And so I basically took the first book of the leadership course, and everywhere it said leader, I turned it into influencer.
Nice.
And it worked perfectly. Because all the same principles, as in, be careful with your character. Your job is to move people's minds and hearts. This is how you do that. This is how you take them from you don't know who they are to being fully committed people who are willing to support and love and give their life for the cause. Same thing. All those same principles work exactly parallel with influencer.
Yeah.
And so I went over this and I went over this and I taught the class and I taught the class and I went through the class, and I think about the third time through, I'm like, this is stuff that I want them to walk away from in the class, so that it doesn't just exist for this 8 weeks, because they come back and like, man, that was a lot. Every week, man, you covered a lot. So I want to, can you send me the notes, please? And so I went, you know what, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write this book. And so what I did is I actually recorded all the classes that I taught, and then I took those and we ran them through text to speech, right? Or speech to text, rather.
Yeah.
And so then it became this great big huge brick of text, unfathomably annoying, no punctuation. And I worked with AI, and I worked with all kinds of sort of all the stuff that I've written in the past. I've written a few books and put that all together, and then brought that in and was able to pull it into sections, and I was able to add all kinds of illustrations and put all that together into a book that was what is short enough, that you can actually read it, but is also purposeful enough that if you go through that sucker, I promise by the end of it, you are going to have a much better understanding of who you're creating for, what your priorities can be, a bunch of ideas of what you can do, how to unite to other people, where God is in all of this. And I honestly think it's a privilege, and it could be really life-changing for someone. And I'm not saying that because I'm such a great author. I'm sure you're going to read it and be like, there's like errors. Yeah, okay, yeah. It's fine. But I will say that I think it's the only one out there. I think it has the virtue of the fact that I don't think anybody else has done it yet. Yeah. And so,
because you're right.
If you want one, there's one.
But you're right. Influencers are leaders. They really are.
Yeah, they're community builders.
Yeah, and it's
at the core.
Yes, and it's so great that you were able to take inspiration from this leadership book, but add your own spin on it and also direct it towards content creators, which is your passion, and make it shorter so that it's more digestible. It
is digestible, but I will say this, so I can hear in your audience right now, there's some guy being like, you mean you took someone else's content and then you released it as your own book and you're selling it? That's not allowed. Okay, so hold on.
Plagiarism.
Not only is it wildly adapted, okay, but also I literally contacted the John Maxwell organization.
Oh,
I
wow.
talked to their representative and got their permission to use their content so that I can adapt it so I can sell it. They are cool with it. Okay.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Yes, because everything above board, do nothing that anybody can accuse you of anything bad, and that'll keep you in your stead for sure.
Exactly. And there have been stories like that where it could be something from 10 years ago, and then out of the woodwork somebody sues you.
Heck
You
yeah.
do not want that. Yeah. So yeah, XtianNinja, guys, he's legit.
He tries to be. Yeah.
Yeah. So let us know a little bit about that was a lot about the book, of course, but like, if somebody is out there right now and wondering, should I buy this book? What would you tell them?
Yes. Go buy the book.
Short and to the point.
Even if you don't want it, I could, and also if you buy it on Amazon, rate it, please. Holy moly, that really helps. There's zero discovery until the Amazon algorithm knows you're legit through those reviews. But anyway, I digress. The book itself is designed to take you through step by step how to process in your mind what content I should do, what is the point of it, who am I doing it for. So let me read you some of the chapter title. I'll just read you all the chapter title, okay?
Nice.
So chapter 1, who me a creator, right? That idea of step 1, should I even be a creator? Because the idea of content creation, it's kind of a big daunting thing. I'm out there like, wow, be on video, be on YouTube, let my voice out, share with people. Like you said, people were joining a contest. Yeah. They thought they had good stuff. And there were people that were like, I don't want anybody to know. So like the question is, should you be? The next one is why being a Christian content creator is so difficult, right? And that has a lot to do with the fact that the unprecedented time that we have in that the church hasn't caught up yet, and the books haven't caught up yet, and like we can go back. If you're like, I want to be a youth pastor, you can go get a degree in that now. I want to go to Brazil as a missionary. Sure, here's 25 mission organizations. I want to be an artist, as in like I want to paint art or I want to do whatever. Sure, go to class for that. But if you say I want to influence people on Twitch through streaming, or I want to be a YouTuber who is on purpose for God, everything you are going to find is secular. So who's your hero? Right? Who's the person you go, I want to be like that? Because missionaries are like, I want to be like Hudson Taylor. I want to be like, Billy Graham. I want to be like, whoever. That's who I'm going to pattern myself after. Who is it for us? Right? It's like, well, I want to be like Tim the Tat Man, or I want to be like PewDiePie, or I want to be like some other giant author. It's like, yeah, kind of, but they're secular, or they're not focused, and they're not the same audience as you. So that's one of the reasons, right? Plus, obviously, there's spiritual stuff. Obviously, there's financial stuff, like just a ton. So why is it so difficult? The third one is how to discover your audience. Emphasis on your audience, not the audience that's out there so that you can become successful, but the one that God wants to put in front of you. Yeah. Right? The character of a creator. In other words, how can you possibly screw this up so fundamentally that you destroy your life? And how do you avoid that? Okay. How to identify and implement a God-given vision. So let's say you get to the point where like, yes, I should be a creator and I'm willing to do the hard work, and I believe that I have this audience and that I'm going to be working really hard to do this properly. How do I go about this? What does God want me to do with all this? What does God want me to do with all this passion that I have in my heart? That'll help. How to make the most of your time. So now that you've figured out, this is where I want to go, and this is what I want to do, and these are the people I want to serve, and this is where I think God wants me to go. How do you organize your life in such a way that you can actually pull it off? Because it's really busy work. It sometimes takes an arduous amount of effort to be able to pull this kind of stuff off. So how do you do that if you're part-time? How do you do that if it's a hobby? How do you do that if you decided to go full-time? Number 7 is how to make good content, and quote unquote good content. And that has nothing to do with your technological prowess. It has nothing to do with your how great your equipment is. It has nothing to do with catching the algorithm. It has to do with content that is good for the people that you are serving and that God is going to bless. Number 8 is how to build a strong community. So now that you've gone out there, let's say that you have made the most of your time and you've made good content and people are showing up. How do you build a community around that actually has value, that is helping people, that is serving people, that is growing, that is safe, that is flourishing? And then how to keep your audience now that they're there, right?
Yeah.
Now that they're there and you build an audience, how do I make sure I don't lose them all? What's the next step to doing that? And then the last chapter is strategic planning for long-term growth. So like, how do I do this for the rest of my life?
Wow. Yeah. Hearing those chapter titles, I already know I really should get this book for myself as well.
And it's only like 130 pages, man.
Yeah. It's very...
I know.
Yeah, and I could tell you packed a lot of valuable information into this little digestible book that is targeted towards the people who really need it.
I think they do. And I'm working really hard. I mean, the reason I'm on the podcast now is because I'm doing something that's incredibly hard for me. And I'd imagine a lot of people, probably you included, and that is the self-promo.
Yes.
And it feels so gross, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, at least it's an excuse to get out there. Hey, I have a book and I think it'll help some people. But the idea is there are a bunch of creators out there, I know this for a fact, that would benefit just from reading the thing. And I don't mean because I want money. I mean, like, there's nothing else out there that they can grab onto that will make them feel, holy moly, this person gets me. They're one of my people. This is written for me. Not, I watched a video that teaches me how to be a better YouTuber, but I have no idea how to apply that to a Christian content, right? This is for me. That's who I want to reach. I actually get a really cool opportunity. Next week, I get to go and talk to my local Christian radio station about all this kind of stuff. Yeah, not on. Let me clarify, not on, but with. So because they're like, I don't know who you are, Yeah. So I'm going to go talk to them about that, and hopefully that means I can maybe get out there and meet some of the folks in my own area, maybe teach a class. Like it's. I believe that God's working through this, and as long as I'm trying to keep my head above water and put my effort in and whatnot, I think he's the one who's creating all this fruit. As much as I want to yell the plants out of the ground, I honestly, I was doing that for a long time. As a farmer, I use that phrase like, how a farmer goes out there, and the whole biblical model is that the farmer plants the seed and then he has to wait for the rain and wait for the sun and wait for the plants, and there's nothing he can do about it. Yeah. That's the whole point. God will take care of that kind of stuff. Your job is the seed, maybe. I feel the same way. But except for I found out that through the amount of work I was putting into it, I was like a farmer that was going outside, planting the seed, and then yelling at the ground to try to make the plants come out faster.
Oh, no.
And it was like, what are you doing? Like, that's not how that works. Obviously, But yeah, so like, and I mean, seriously, when I first started this thing, I was 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like I was just slaughtering myself. And then after some months, God's like, I put like Sabbath right next to don't murder people. I'm pretty serious about it. And so, okay, I'll take Sunday off. And then over the course of 3 years, God has been slowly cracking open my hand to let go of more time. The recent one is I stopped working in the evening. So my schedule for like 2 years was I work from 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and then I come back to the office at 7 o'clock, and I work until I can't work anymore, and then I go out and I stumble out and I say hello to my children. And I did that for a really long time. Yeah. And after talking to my kids and after talking to my God being very clear about it, he's like, don't work in the evenings anymore. So I just like, okay, which is murder, because I really have a lot to do and I feel like I need to do it. But again, I can't make the fruit happen. And then after I'd said yes to that, about a month later, I felt a deep impression from God that says, and now stop for 2 weeks. Don't do anything. I'd rather he told me to pluck an eye out. You know what I mean?
My goodness, yeah.
It was, So I just immediately just like dropped everything and walked away. I didn't even walk into my office for 2 weeks. And it was such a blessed time. It took me a week to figure out what to do with myself. I didn't have no idea. I felt like an absolute waste of space. But my Animal Crossing island looked phenomenal. Okay.
Okay.
So things got done.
There we go.
About a week in, that's where I really started to kind of reorient myself towards listening to God more, towards, checking to see what kind of sins had crept in, what kind of things I should be adding that are spiritual, that are meditative, that are better for my health and things like that. And so that over a week, I started to do some decompression. And then I streamed for like a day or two, and then I had to go to a conference. And I went and sat at a conference for a week. And then I came back and I was sick. And then I didn't get to stream for a while. And so it was like I streamed like 3 times in a month. And what ended up happening is because of the time off, it's like all the twine that had been tightened so much in my brain was able to finally kind of loosen. And I started having different ideas, and what I hopefully is better ideas. I started to see things see my priorities in a different way, and to meet God in a different way. And it took that, I think it took that month of just not creating to be able to kind of repurpose myself and to get a new burst of energy and a new focus of where I'm going to go. And so I was looking on Twitter today, and someone had posted, the question, why do creators have a hard time taking time off? Why is it so hard if it's such an arduous job and it's so difficult to pull off, and it takes so many hours? You'd think it would be like, man, I got to take a break, but they don't. They just keep going and going and going and going. Why is that? Right? And I think part of it is just the vacuum draw, that black hole of either purpose or fear or anxiety or desire or whatever it is that just pulls the entire world away, and all you see is the content. And it can take monumental effort to step outside of that so that you can actually start to see where you are.
Yeah, and I'm sure I need this as well, because I just, as a person doing content creation, but also just as a person, I've noticed it is very hard for me to take a break. Like, even if I take anytime, if I've been working, half of the time when I take off, which I hardly ever take off, when I do take off, it's because I'm working somewhere else or doing something else. Like, I'm not just like, here's a day for me to just relax. Like, even if I'm trying to, I find something to do. And it's just somehow so difficult to not work. And that seems weird, because a lot of people are like, I need a day off, or I wouldn't be doing all that. But some people, it may be hard for some people to believe, but some people do relate that, yeah, it is challenging. Like, because I remember this when you took this hiatus and you were posting still, and you were like, I don't know what to do. It's like, I totally get that. You just feel like, what am I doing? I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm always supposed to be working. And it's just so hard to rest for some reason.
Part of it is, I really think that is because we've been drilled into our head that our validity comes from our production. Yeah. Right? Is that you have no purpose, and you should feel guilty if you're not producing.
Yes, I do. The truth is, when I'm not doing anything.
Oh yeah, but laziness, lack of production, which is you're supposed to be doing stuff, is a sin. We all agree with that. Nobody should be lazy. But theologically speaking, biblically speaking, overproduction, working is just as much sin, as much a problem, just as faithless and disobedient, because it is trying to pull the blessings out of God's hands. It is trying to force him to do things that it is not ready yet. It is not for you. It is not his will for your life. And you are trying to make it happen. And that's not faithful. That is not trusting. That is not Christian. It is, I will work as much as God wants me to and rest as much as God wants me to. And I will serve where God wants me to. I'll bloom where I'm planted, and I will not take over any other part of the body. We know that body of theology, right? Like, the idea is that I'm a foot, you're a hand, someone else is an eyeball, and anybody who tries to do the eyeball's job and they're a foot, it's gonna be a problem. You know what I mean? And so therefore, stop it. When the eyeball's work is done and the foot's work is done, just stop. Trust God. He's the one in charge.
And like you were saying, if you're a farmer yelling at the ground, honestly, you're not doing anything but tiring yourself out. Like, that's not helping the
Absolutely.
plants. You're just unnecessarily doing something. Your throat is going to get hoarse. You're going to be standing out yeah, for in your field for hours in the hot sun, just yelling for no reason. And
And
just
how's
like,
tomorrow going to go?
yeah, exactly.
Right. So when God goes, okay, it's time for you to, harvest or time for you to plant somewhere else.
It's like, I'm too
Well,
tired
no,
now.
I spent all my energy on yelling at the plants.
It's like, did I tell you to do that though? Where did that get you? So yeah, and when I see other people, I feel so bad, and I like try to encourage them to rest. But then when it's me, it's so hard.
Right. Yes. There's a word for that,
Yeah. Jesus had a word for the hypocrites. He
Yeah,
did.
it starts with H and has something to do with being a play actor. I won't say the word, but you guys go look it up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's something that I totally need to work on, because I do notice, like you said, it takes something to happen a lot of the time to make us stop. Like getting laid off from my job.
Yeah.
I was working 7 days a week until I got laid off. So it's like, no, I can't work.
I say this: you will rest.
Yes, exactly.
It will either be your choice and a good time, or not your choice and a bad time.
Same
But
with, yeah.
you will rest.
Your body, just how our bodies are designed. I was like nonstop, and then suddenly I get sick. I was like, I had all this stuff I'm gonna do. It's like, no, you're just gonna rest. And I just felt like I was in a black hole for like a week. It's like,
yeah.
well, that's what I mean. What do you expect? I was going nonstop Energizer Bunny. So something's gonna slow me down sooner or later.
You are human. I mean, that the phrase, the Sabbath wasn't, man wasn't made for the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man.
Yeah.
The implication is it's a gift. God is like offering you the gift of rest, the gift of just be able to go abiding in him. Like Jesus is very clear, unless you're attached to the vine, you're getting nothing, right?
Yeah.
So therefore, if you are trying to run past the vine, or you're trying to stretch yourself away from the vine, or you're working hard to create that grape at the end of your line, that's not how it works.
No.
It comes from the vine, so you need to be attached. That's why Jesus is like, abide in me. Just rest, sit, stop, wait. And I know that there's people out there that are like, that sounds really lazy. That sounds faithless. That sounds like you're trying to presume upon God. Like you want him to do all the work. Well, here's the thing. He is doing all the work.
Yeah.
And you are an actor within it. And therefore doing things his way at his time isn't making him do anything extra. You're just coming along with what he's already doing. And you get to have the blessing of working with your Father.
Yeah. Like in this modern age, the vine is a great example automatically, straight from the book. But similar to that, it's just like a phone or any kind of electric device. If you don't charge it, that's it. But when it's charging, it has to be stationary in its spot where it is. And it's not good actually to, be doing stuff on your phone while it's charging, because that will make the battery worse. Mm-hmm. So
another good illustration is the axe, right? Like, so like if you take your axe and you go out and cut down the tree in the forest, the smart person stops and sharpens it now and again so that their work is easier, so things go well. It's the fool that keeps banging their axe against a tree until it turns into a hammer and they can't do anything, trying to add more effort. You know what I mean? Like, if you have to stop, sit down, sharpen the axe. That's just how the universe is designed.
Yeah, and you could keep going and chop down trees with a hammer, but like you said, it's going to be much more work on you. And as people say, work smarter, not harder.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this covered a lot of the questions that I had already left. So this was a good conversation.
Well, that's good, because it's almost time to be done.
It is. All right, so now would you like to play a quick game?
I would love to play a quick game.
All right.
I'm excited because you're smart and you've got all kinds of like creative ideas and whatnot. I'm a little afraid of how this is going to go, but we'll see. Okay.
Okay. It's not going to be too bad. So basically, we can just play two truths and a lie, something kind of simple. So basically, you give two things that are true about yourself and one lie about yourself, and we will have to figure out which one is the lie, and that'll make the other two true. And I'll do the same thing.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. So if any of the taco crew are listening, I don't know if they will be able to tell about yours.
I keep some things close to the chest. I don't do it all in front of everybody.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. And guys, if you did figure out, guys, you can feel free to comment below and let us know which ones you guessed. All right. Okay. You can go first.
I'll start with an easy one.
Okay.
Right? So, eaten shark, eaten kangaroo, or eaten blowfish.
That one. Okay, so two of those are supposed to be a truth. Wow, that's very interesting. I do know that there is a dish with blowfish that is, if they're prepared wrong, you can die.
You die, yeah.
So I am very scared to try that personally. So I'm gonna say that one's the lie.
That one is the lie. I'm not going anywhere near blowfish either. No way. I don't care how tasty you think it is. It's not worth it.
I was like, I heard that before, and they were like, well, the chef has to eat it themselves first before serving it. I'm like, what?
We just don't. There's lots of other food in the world.
There's plenty of other fish in the sea, literally.
literally.
All right, that was a good one. Okay, my turn. All right. Let's see. I have been to New York. I have a tattoo. I played in the Nutcracker.
You do not strike me as a tattoo person, but I desperately want to believe that is true. Instinctually, I want to go with the tattoo one because played it in Nutcracker. That does sound like something you would definitely do. So I'm gonna go with the tattoo one. You do not have a tattoo.
You are correct.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, I did play in the Nutcracker, but when I was very, very, very young, I used to take up ballet class, and I was just one of the sugar plum fairies. I was not on stage for very long.
Doesn't matter, still counts.
Yeah. And I recently, just last year, went to New York for the first time. So.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So, have you ever wanted a tattoo?
I personally am very terrified of needles, and yeah, I don't. It's not something that I really, really want. But I said if I ever did get a tattoo, I'd probably try to get a very small cross, like on my ring finger. And then it'll just be on my I have my purity ring, so it would be under that, and then if I get married, it will still be there, but I'll put my wedding ring on over it. So
wow, you got a plan. Okay, all right.
But I really don't think I will get that because I do hear extremities are worse and more painful. So fingers are going to be really painful. Getting tattoos on. So yeah, that's just something that I said if I ever did get one, I probably would. Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Oh wait.
No, I have mine planned out. No, it's not.
Okay.
No, I have one I have one planned out, but I'm not nervous about the needle part. I'm nervous about the getting hepatitis part. So I'm way too much of a germaphobe for that.
Yeah. It's like, oh no, did you guys clean this stuff properly? Mm-hmm. Are you scared of are you getting words? Because I'm also kind of scared of people messing up. It's just permanent. Yeah. It's if
there's way too many pictures online of horrible. Yeah.
It's now I'm stuck with this on me. And it's okay, well, we won't charge you. It's but my body is messed up forever now. I mean, yes. The discount doesn't matter. But yeah, okay, your turn. Sorry.
All right. Kept a stream running after ending for a solid 10 minutes. Streamed from my phone in a hotel room, done an ASMR video.
Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna say I could kind of see you doing all of those, except for the ASMR sounds like it's a little bit funny. Like I can imagine it, but it's gonna be like a silly XtianNinja version of ASMR. But I'm gonna say that one sounds a little bit false to me.
Well, now I have to make one. No, I haven't. I've not done that, but I'm putting that on the list.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm gonna actually. This is really funny because I'm gonna do the same boomerang choice for you. I have left the stream running for about 10 minutes after I thought I ended it. I have streamed from a hotel room, or I have filmed an ASMR video.
Really? Yeah. Okay. I mean, as a streamer, I think literally one of the things that we've all done is forgot to turn off stream, because you just like, okay, bye everybody, and then you just get right to whatever the next thing is. So I was going to say that one is just ubiquitous. Everybody has done that. Stream from a hotel room or done ASMR. You know what? I'm going to go with I don't think you stream from a hotel room. I think that is too like unstructured for you, and that you'd want all your jazz around you to be all prepped, and it would be too out there. That's the one I'm going to pick.
Interesting. The funny thing is, the real thing is the ASMR. And I
You've
thought
done
about
ASMR?
doing it. No, I have not. Not yet.
Oh!
So people have actually been saying, like, you should do ASMR, because they feel like when I do the typing on my stream, that would be a good ASMR video. I'm like, I might do that. So technically, if you count that, then technically I did, but I wouldn't consider it because
accidental ASMR.
Yeah. But then I did stream from a hotel room, which was in the New York trip that I did just this past year, because I was supposed to stream. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stream. It was unstructured and it was a little bit laggy, but I said, laggy, I'm just checking in and saying bad. Hello.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
And I had to keep muting because there's somebody very loud outside of my hotel. I was like, what are you guys doing? It's late at night.
Brutal.
All right.
Yep. I keep bringing mine to hotel rooms and being like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
And then keep being in the bag. Yeah. All right, my turn again?
Yeah.
Okay. Gone hunting for bear. Spent 3 straight minutes with my mic off during a live stream. Picked my nose on stream in front of the camera for a very long time.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna hope that last one is false. Let's see. Hunting for bear sounds. It sounds.
I am from Canada.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It sounds kind of Canadian. Not to stereotype. And then what was the other one you said?
Spent 3 minutes with my mic off live on stream.
Yeah. I think that's like one of the given things, kind of like the leaving the stream on, because I left my stream on when I rated out to somebody and then I was just in their stream chatting. And then when I was like, okay, I have to go, and then I like close it out, and then I saw mine was still running. I was like, oh my goodness.
Did you wave?
I mean,
just look at the camera.
Thankfully, it was on the credit screen, and I was muted. But,
good for you. That's way better.
Yeah, that would be hilarious if I wasn't. Are you saying that's what happened to you? You were still on camera and everything?
Oh yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay.
I don't have an end screen. I just buy and then leave. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. That's right. Okay. All right. So for this one, I'm gonna say the fake one is probably the digging in the nose.
That one is true. I've never gone hunting for bear. Okay, so the leaving stream on for a very long time and the picking my nose on stream for way too long are connected.
Oh no!
So, oh yeah. It was after stream and whatever, and I was like third knuckle looking for, digging for gold,
no.
because I was just like, I gotta get it out of my brain, and it's like losing my mind after stream. And then I got a text from Donnie.
No.
He's like, dude, you're still on. I'm like, no.
Did somebody clip it?
No, thankfully. I almost deleted the VOD. I almost deleted. I'm like, that's gotta go. Can't have that one on there. But like a courageous man, I left it on.
Oh goodness, is it still up now?
I think it's been long enough that I think Twitch took care of it for me.
Okay. I was about to say, hopefully they don't go in and watch it and clip it because I said something. All right. Well, that was an interesting one. Okay. Is it my turn again?
Yeah.
All right. I used to live in Indiana. I have 3 younger siblings. I like double mint gum way too much.
That last one seems very accurate. That one came from the heart. I'm gonna think I think you're trying to snow me, and you have either 2 or 4 siblings. So I'm gonna go with the siblings one.
Interestingly, I do have 3 younger siblings. I do have a half sister who is older than me, so I technically do have four siblings. But the thing I said was 3 younger siblings, which was true.
Oh, no way. Okay, bummer. Caught on a technicality.
Yep. So do you think you know which one is false then? I'll give you another chance since you didn't quite get that one.
The Indiana one is, because I can't possibly know that. What was the last one again?
I like double mint gum way too much.
That one sounds true. I'm gonna go with the Indiana one. I'm gonna keep out for that gum one. I think it's true.
Yeah, the gum one is true. I literally have like a bulk pack of double mint on my desk right now. And I know it's not good. I really chew gum too much sometimes, but
how can you chew gum too much? What's the bad part? What's it gonna do?
I mean, I hope I don't have cavities. I do brush my teeth anyways, but it's like having the sugar on your teeth is like, it's not even sugar-free gum. Double mint is not sugar-free, so that's the thing I'm scared of. But I just like it, so. But yeah, I have never lived in Indiana. I visited there, but I have been born and raised in Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, really? Far out. I think I knew that. I think you've told me that before.
Did you say you have one more, or was that it? I wasn't keeping track.
I do have one more.
Okay.
I do have one more. All right. So, number 1, been a voice actor in a video game. Number 2, won a writing award. Or number 3, presented an award at a gala.
Nice. All of those things sound really cool. Okay, that's a challenge. I can just imagine you like wearing a suit and like accepting an award, but I can also imagine you wearing a suit and presenting an award and like being those quirky.
You shouldn't imagine me in a suit. I don't even own one.
Oh no. Okay. So I would say probably then. I'm gonna say you didn't present the award at the gala.
I have never been. I don't even know what a gala looks like. I've never been to a gala. I don't know what a gala is. They wouldn't even have me at a gala. I don't want to go to a gala. None of that. Yeah, no, I've never presented an award. I did win a writing award.
Oh, congratulations!
For my very first book. Yeah, it was a. I got a sticker. I got a yellow sticker I could put on the front of my book, so that felt pretty cool. And I was actually a voice actor in a video game. I was they were putting together a golf game, and they wanted me to do like 5 or 6 different voices for 5 or 6 different characters. Cool. And so I recorded all the voices and sent that in. Yeah. That's sadly awesome. The game never got made.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know, but I got paid. So that
Awesome.
counts. I was a professional voice actor.
Awesome. And who knows? They might revive the project
Someday.
someday. And like, oh wait, because funny story. I do voice acting as well. So sometimes I am hired for a thing, and yeah, I get paid. But then like either the project doesn't move forward, or they choose somebody else. And one day I was like Googling my own name, and it came up on IDMB, and I'm like, what? And there's this thing called Felicity the Fish. So I played the main character who has a British accent, and I didn't think my British sounded that good. That's why I thought that they like chose somebody else. So, and you can listen to it. It's actually on Spotify. I'm gonna have to link it now that I mentioned it. But it's hilarious. It's like a little for kids little serial show about a little fish named Felicity who plays around with her friends, and they learn lessons and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, they did choose me.
So are we talking the Queen's English, all very posh and stuff, or were you full on Cockney?
No, not Cockney. No.
Because that's the one I want to hear. All right, governor.
I could try that one. That would be very embarrassing. But now that you said it, I will have to try. Like a bottle of water, like that.
Water. Yeah, water.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do know. I think. Am I supposed to do one more?
I think you're the last player. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Well. All right. Let's see. I have never lost an escape room. I have visited. I have seen the silly characters in Times Square, and I have posted a 7-hour YouTube video.
Well, you said you went to New York, and some of your streams are crazy long. So I'm gonna go with those two are the truth. What was the first one again?
I've never lost an escape room.
But you're also smart. Those are hard. You know what? I'm gonna say that it's you've never lost an escape room one, but I'm gonna put the caveat in is because it wasn't your fault. Someone else messed it up for you.
Well, you're right. That is the lie. Actually, I believe it or not, and this one gets people too. I only did one escape room so far, and I did it with my mom. So, you could say that maybe it was her. I'm not going to say that, Mom.
Her
if you're
fault.
listening,
See,
it's not
exactly.
your fault, Mom.
You didn't lose. It was your mom that lost. You were just pulled into the problem.
No, but yeah, it was kind of fun. The escape room we went to, it took a while to figure out like their kind of puzzles and how things worked. Also, I will say it was my fault because there was a secret thing we found in the wall, and we got something out of it. I'm the one who dug it out, but also in that wall was a piece of paper that we did not see for like a couple of like at least probably 30 minutes.
Dang.
And then I revisited and was like, that paper wasn't there at first. Yes, it was. It was. It's my fault. So I will say that was my fault. But I will try to redeem myself if I do another escape room. Have you ever done an escape room?
No, never, ever, ever. Never have. I'm worried that I'm just going to sit cross-legged on the floor and cry.
Do you guys have good escape rooms in Canada?
Actually, there are some. We have a crazy amount of horror like places in like Niagara Falls. Like every other thing is a horror thing. There's a couple escape rooms there, but I've never tried. I'll never go to the horror thing, but I've never done an escape room. That is something that I think I might like to try with the right group of people, but I also feel like I'd need to recruit as opposed to just go in there with some randos, because otherwise I would either be pulling them behind and they wouldn't understand, or I'd be like, I get it, and then they wouldn't be catching up, and I don't know. I think it'd have to be the right group of people.
Yeah, I know I don't have a good resume at this point because I just told you I lost one. But if I'm ever in Canada, I think that maybe if you would like to meet up and do an escape room, I wouldn't. You're
on the team.
All right.
Absolutely. No question.
Sounds fun. But thank you so much for playing that game. That was really fun, and we learned a lot about each other.
That was a lot of fun.
And thank you so much for being on, talking about your book. Is there anything you want to close out with? Where can they find the book? All that kind of stuff. Where can they find you? Feel free to say
everything's on my website.
Words.
Yeah, okay. Everything's on my website. Go check it out, XtianNinja.com, XtianNinja.com. You go there, you find everything. It's got my introductory video. It's got links to my books. It's got my new blog. It's got the whole 9 yards. So that's where I'd go. You can sign up for the newsletter that's there. I'm trying to release one more often these days. The only other thing I'd like to say is if you are listening to this and you know any content creators or you are part of a church or whatever, and you're like, man, some of these people could use some encouragement, let me know. I'd love to be able to either speak there or send a video or talk to your pastor or talk to your denomination or whatever. I want to find more. So send me some more fish, some more seas for me to fish in.
Yes, please do. XtianNinja is awesome. I will say it is just such an honor to have you on the podcast. And like you said, you're a fan of me. I'm just such a big fan of you. And I'm always so happy when we get to collaborate.
Collaborate or Mutual Admiration Society? I'll take both.
Both, yes. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, and much success with all the stuff you're doing. You're doing so much cool stuff, and just God bless you with your ministry and everything. It's such a wonderful mission you have.
Thank you so much.
That episode was quite fun. I had a lot of fun chatting with XtianNinja about his new book, about being a content creator, and the game was hilarious. How many did you guys get right? If you would like to interact more, I will link both the Taco Discord and my Infinite Imagination server in the show notes. So feel free to hang out, chill out, chat around, and everything else. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for being an awesome part of the community. Thank you for your patience as I am releasing these episodes. And I do pray that the episodes are able to be released more frequently now. Once again, if you do want to donate, my Ko-fi page is available. Any amount is appreciated. Nothing is too big. Nothing is too small. And I thank you guys so much for being extremely awesome. That's all for this episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to find out more about me or the show, head over to thejustdostuffpodcast.com. This is your host, Osandra, also known as Wordy Girl, signing off. God bless, much success, and remember to just do stuff.